2014 Ford Escape. Common problem. The problem with this car is the vacuum for the brakes. If you see the hole right there, that's where the cam is. And there's a little device that attaches to there that creates a vacuum for your braking system. So if you're in your 2014, I'm not sure which years this is the same thing. This is the 2-liter, by the way. Okay. And what happens is you press the brake and the brake is very hard and you barely get any brakes. So your brake pedal is very hard, right to the top of the floor. You push on it. It's very difficult. This, guys, is the problem. This little device right here. Now, as you can see, I took the cap off of it. And what happened to this one is the insides of this one right here is all broke up and is no good. So the car wasn't creating a vacuum. And here are 3 of the pieces that fell out of this when I took that cap off. These 3 pieces. This sits on the engine just like this. This little piece right here has to line up with the one that comes off the cam. So you kind of have to make sure you got it in the right position when you go to put it back on. And to take this off, this attaches to the side of the engine just like this, okay? Don't worry, you'll get it in there. So it attaches just like that with 3 8mm bolts. And it connects with 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 on the top, which is, it sits like this. This is how it attaches to the side of the engine, down where that hole is right there. So you have 1 bolt on the top, 1 bolt right here. They're all 8mm bolts. And one that's a little bit difficult to get at is right down here. This one is a little bit tricky. Now, guys, I had the cap took off this one, like I said. So I'm actually putting back on a used one. This is a used one I had shipped to me today. And, you know, I'm not taking the cap to check this one out because I don't want to mess up the seal, because as you can see, you have a seal on it. I'm just going to hope that this one works. They assured me it worked, and if not, it has a warranty. Now, guys, you're asking yourself why I have a used one. My car is down right now, not working. I could have ordered this one through Ford for $519. This little thing that creates a vacuum is $519 at Ford. I could have got it on Amazon between $100 and $200. Then you don't know what you're getting, and I would have had to wait 2 or 3 weeks. I live in Newfoundland, off the east coast of Canada, for it to arrive. I didn't want the car to be sitting for 2 or 3 weeks. I wanted to drive it. So I got it from a scrapyard, and I paid $120 for it, and it cost me $25 for shipping. And that's what I paid for it. So I'm going to check to see, because as I'm looking at this one now, this one has a gasket, but for some reason it's not lined up properly. So I'm going to line this gasket up properly now. And guys, always make sure you check the gaskets, because this is a little bit, I can actually see this through the phone better than I'm looking at it low light levels. I'm just making sure the gasket's in place properly. And remember, guys, when you reinstall this one, you have to make sure you're lined up with the cam. So give me 1 second. I'm going to change the light around and I'll get back to you. So guys, you got to make sure that this one here is lined up, okay? If this one's not lined up properly, you're going to have a hard time to get it in. And the gasket is on, it's in place. You just got to fish it in there. You'll get it in there. It just takes a little bit. Be careful on what you're doing. You have to fish with it to get it to lock. If it doesn't lock, then it's not going to sit right and it's not going to lock in place. But as you can see, now I have it. And remember, guys, you have your 3 8mm bolts right here. This is not a big job. It's a little bit time consuming for the bottom bolt down right here where my finger is, but other than that, it's not too hard. The first 2 bolts are easy. Now guys, this last bolt in here is, I'm telling you, he's tricky. You have to be careful because if you drop the bolt somewhere, well, have fun trying to find it. And I think I'm getting him. And just go around and tighten your bolts. Don't do them too tight, as this is, well, I called it white metal because you can break it, so don't put them too tight. Nice and snug. That's the ticket. Recheck them. And basically, guys, right now, it's on. Then you just got to, there's a connection here. Try your best to run it through because I'll show you in a second, guys. It has to connect up here. And then this one here connects back to right here. You heard that click. It's very simple, easy, and straightforward. You have this hose here, which connects to, once you get it in place, this hose right here. Which connects to this hose. Make sure you got it in all the way. I always just use a pair of channel locks and just push down on this clamp here so I can pull it back over because you don't want no air leaks being inside of that. Basically now you're done with that component. Then guys, you have to put your box back for your air filter. If you're doing this, I recommend changing your air filter. Just fish it around, you will get it. It takes a little bit, but it will go in place. And that's all that's to that. That just locks in place like that. And the box locks down on its own. And you have a plug. It's kind of dark here, guys, but here he is. He goes on right here like that. And put your filter back in. I took mine out, guys, and I cleaned it I used the air hose and got it nice and clean. Just reinstalling it like that, that's good for me. And again with this, guys, you got to bolt this down. And again, that's with the 8mm. And we'll put the, I'm not even sure how this one goes. I think he goes, yeah, I think he slides in like this. Move that out of the way for now. This is a battery case. And that's there. There we go. Okay, now guys, now we have to connect this one. And this one connects right here like this. And he has a clamp on it. That's his clamp. And then you have this one here. You also have to connect. Now, we have this bolt, which goes in here, and this is what keeps all of this all together and down and sensible. And guys, everything I used, if you notice, is 8mm. 8mm is the main thing here. Now all we have to do, guys, is tighten up our clamps. Screwdriver is kind of best to do this. That's what I use to take it off with. That's tight. Now I just gotta fix this one that for some reason decided to slip off. There we go. So guys, we're practically back together. All I got left to put on is the housing for the engine. I'm gonna double check everything to make sure everything is connected. Everything is connected. Everything is there. I'm gonna slip this one back in place, line it up. It'll go in its dowels and sit properly. Sometimes it takes a little bit of wiggle, but it'll go. And there we are. Let's check the oil. And it's down just a little bit. And I'll add just a little bit. And this car, guys, a 2-liter takes 5W30. But I'm sure I'm good to test the engine. I'm just going to take it off. I'm just going to take the tools off. Check around. So guys, it's all put back together now. Everything's put back together. We're going to get inside the car and cross our fingers that our power brakes are working again. tire pressure sensor. It's softer for me. Well, guys, I took it for a little drive. My brakes are back to normal. And trust me, that's great, because, you know, you're never sure when you're doing these kind of jobs. But everything went pretty smoothly. You know, if you got to do this job, it'll probably take you approximately about an hour to do. That's what it took me, basically, was an hour. And my brakes are back. I finally got brake pressure. Everything is nice. It's not hard anymore. I put the scanner in and cleared the code that was there, and the code never came back anymore, and everything's fine. So guys, I hope this helps you out if you run into this kind of trouble with your I think this runs from 2000, I'm going to say 2012 up till 2015 Ford Escape, and that's with the 2-liter. I'm not sure if that's with the 1.8 as well, but this one being a 2-liter. So apparently, from what I found online, from 2012 to 2015, it's basically the same thing. And I hope this helps out. So guys, thanks for watching, and please leave me a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.